Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radhe Jaya Shri Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Lalita Vishakha Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Lalita Vishakha Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gaurani Sai Prabhupada ki jai. So now we will do many prayers. So everyone who is not sick or old, please, you can bow your head down to the floor. And we'll do Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajākācārya Stotra Satta. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. ISKCON BBT Founder Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Prem se kaho Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivrinda ki. Shri Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana ki. Ganga Mai ki. Jamuna Mai ki. Mayapur Dham ki. Vrindavan Dham ki. Tulsi Maharani ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are here to read from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We read chapter 11. No. And chapter 11 entitled The Universal Form, and text 8. So, we will read Sanskrit. Natumam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā divyam dadāmi te cakṣuḥ paśya me yogam aiśvaram natumam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā divyam dadāmi te cakṣuḥ paśya me yogam aiśvaram natumam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā divyam dadāmi te cakṣuḥ paśya me yogam aiśvaram
natumam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā divyam dadāmi te cakṣuḥ paśya me yogam aiśvaram natumam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā divyam
dadāmi te cakṣuḥ
paśya me yogam aiśvaram natumam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā
divyam dadāmi te cakṣuḥ
paśya me yogam aiśvaram
natumam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva cakṣuṣā divyam dadāmi te cakṣuḥ paśya me yogam aiśvaram natumam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā
divyam
dadāmi te cakṣuḥ paśya me yogam aiśvaram natumam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā divyam dadāmi te cakṣuḥ paśya yogam aiśvaram. Okay. Nātu mam śakyase draṣṭum anenaiva sva-cakṣuṣā divyaṁ dadāmi te cakṣuḥ paśya yogam aiśvaram. Okay, so word for word, please repeat. Na, never. To, but. Mam, me. Śakyase, are able. Draṣṭum, to, see. Anena, with this. Eva, certainly. Sva-cakṣuṣā, your own eyes. Divyam, divine. Dadāmi, I give. Te, to you. Cakṣuḥ, eyes. Paśya, see. Me, my. Yogam aiśvaram, inconceivable mystic power.
Inconceivable mystic power.
Translation: but you cannot see me. Repeat.
But you cannot see me
With your present eyes.
with your present eyes.
Therefore, I give you divine eyes.
Divine eyes.
Behold my mystic opulence.
Behold my mystic opulence.
Okay, now the purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A pure devotee does not like to see Kṛṣṇa in any form except His form with two hands. A devotee must see His universal form by His grace, not with the mind, but with spiritual eyes. To see the universal form of Kṛṣṇa, Arjuna is told not to change his mind, but his vision. The universal form of Kṛṣṇa is not very important. That will be clear in the subsequent verses. Yet, because Arjuna wanted to see it, the Lord gives him the particular vision required to see that universal form. Devotees who are correctly situated in transcendental relationship with Kṛṣṇa are attracted by loving features, not by a godless display of opulences. The playmates of Kṛṣṇa, the friends of Kṛṣṇa, and the parents of Kṛṣṇa never want Kṛṣṇa to show his opulences. They are so immersed in pure love that they do not even know that Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In their loving exchange, they forget that Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Lord. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the boys who play with Kṛṣṇa are all highly pious souls, and after many, many births, they are able to play with Kṛṣṇa. Such boys do not know that Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They take him as personal friend. Therefore, Shukadeva Goswami recites this verse: Itam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena sakam vijahruh krita punya punjaha. Here is the Supreme Person, who is considered the impersonal Brahman by great sages, the Supreme Personality of Godhead by devotees, and a product of material nature by ordinary men. Now, these boys, who have performed many, many pious activities in their past lives, are playing with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The fact is that the devotee is not concerned with seeing the Vishvarupa, the universal form, but Arjuna wanted to see it to substantiate Kṛṣṇa's statements, so that in the future people could understand that Kṛṣṇa not only theoretically or philosophically presented himself as the Supreme, but actually presented himself as such to Arjuna. Arjuna must confirm this because Arjuna is the beginning of the Parampara system. Those who are actually interested in understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, and who follow the footsteps of Arjuna, should understand that Kṛṣṇa not only theoretically presented himself as the Supreme, but actually revealed himself as the Supreme. The Lord gave Arjuna the necessary power to see his universal form, because he knew that Arjuna did not particularly want to see it, as we have already explained. Okay, so we will read one more time verse. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Staptitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadāti sva-padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha E Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paśyatya Deshatarine. So we are on chapter 11, Universal Form. There are different types of chapters in Bhagavad Gita. For some are more favorite, and some are more complicated. Some seems like, okay, when this chapter will finish, and some chapters are very, very nice and sweet. Sometimes people, when they distribute Bhagavad Gita to new people, they say, skip the chapter 1, go to chapter 2. Chapter 1 is only names. Nobody will even understand what is it, why I read this book. There was one family, mother working. It was in Europe. And some devotees come to her work and distribute book. So she feels like, doesn't know anything. First time says, okay. She gives some donation, takes a book, have no idea. So then she comes home, opens a little bit, starts reading, close, and puts, and to all the family members says, don't read this book. This is a Hindu war. There's nothing for us to read about it. And then nobody for many, many years touched the book, and no one read the book. And when son grew up, then he took a book and started to see what is all this about. So then son became devotee. Then the sister became devotee. Then mother became devotee, father became devotee after 20 years. But said, don't read. This is what happened after reading chapter 1. Hindu war. So, I don't even know the names of the soldiers. Draṣṭum and like this. So, yeah. But you can see that even from chapter 1, reading one word which you don't understand, even though it takes 20 years, but the whole family became very nice devotees, initiated and everything. So like this. So even sometimes chapter 11 may seem some maybe too much technical or not so much sweet, like chapter 12 when they say you just serve me. If you cannot serve me, then you just work and give me some result. It is very nice. Or chapter 9 where Kṛṣṇa says Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, this devotional service is the king of all knowledge, the topmost knowledge. Or chapter 18 when this is Sarva Dharma Parityaja, just give up everything. Everybody likes to just give up everything, yeah? But to give up everything to do what? Not to enter some Brahmajyoti and then my life is so peaceful. No? In Kṛṣṇa consciousness there is no peace. Anyone who joined Kṛṣṇa and look for peace, wrong place. There is no peace. Peace in Brahmajyoti. You can go but you will not like it anyway. So they are not meant even for that. So, any part of this Bhagavad Gita is very nice. Because even if Bhagavad Gita stays in your house for 20 years, the whole family become devotee. So much power. Because this is Krishna's words. This is this transcendental Shabda. And whatever comes from Krishna's mouth is not different from Kṛṣṇa himself. Therefore, his Bhagavad Gita is not different from Kṛṣṇa himself. And hearing it, it is giving a transcendental effect, purifying effect, uplifting effect, and it will allow us to attain the perfection of life, which is love of God. And this is what happens when we even hear without understanding. But when we actually hear with understanding, then what kind of bliss we get, what kind of taste we get, what kind of sweetness we get. So how this understanding will come? When we actually try to connect with the transcendental sound. How? By contemplation. So then through that contemplation, it gets revealed. When Lord Brahma was the first in the universe, he did not know anything. It was dark, sitting on a lotus, down, dark, up, dark, left side dark, right side dark, front side dark, back side dark. He's alone. What to do? Where I am from? He goes down, the stem goes down, no chance. Down, 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 how much? Okay, he climbs up again, sits again. Think what to do. Yeah? So then he hears ta, pa. It's not like, tapa, okay, I have to do it. No, it is that he contemplated on these two syllables and then it got revealed into his heart. So this is what sadhus, the great sages do. They contemplate on transcendental sound. Like when Varahadev came. First of all, nobody even knew who is this. Someone small came, then big became big, like a pig, big pig in the sky. Who is this? Nobody knows. So then some great sages could understand by certain symptoms that's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then Varahadev, being a boar, in the form of a boar, he behaved also like that. And he roared. What information is in a roar of a boar? There's no, like tapa, two syllables at least, you can try to, with your tiny brain, figure out something. But in the roar, what kind of information you get? But it is described that sages, like Sanaka, contemplated on that roar. Because it came from the mouth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's as transcendental as He Himself. Is this as transcendental as this our Bhagavad Gita, what we are reading today? And today is the chapter universal form. And even though we may not, some of us may not fully understand or cannot even fully relate to everything that is written here, because it is some very technical 1,000 heads, 1,000 arms, blazing fire, and so many things, all divided. Everything is divided on many thousand. We cannot even understand fully. So we may lose some kind of interest or think maybe skip. Let's go for 12th chapter. 12th chapter, very sweet, nice. Just serve me, entitled devotional service. And it says that one who neither rejoices nor grieves, one who neither laments nor desires, yes, na sochati, na kaṅṣati, is very dear to me. Oh, that's very nice. I can understand. So if I can learn not to na sochati, na kaṅṣati, not to lament, not to rejoice, and I will be very dear to Kṛṣṇa. It's very simple. I like this chapter better. Yes, but now we are on 11th chapter, and even though we may not understand, I'm sure that sage Sanaka also could not, with his logic and intelligence, understand roar, because there is no letters, there is no shloka in a roar, there is no mantra, there is no chanda, there you cannot recite the roar. How you cannot write it down? Of course, that time you don't need to write. How you repeat it to your students? Yes, but they contemplated on that. So the same we try to contemplate on this chapter 11, and then this Shabda Brahman is revealed in our hearts, because this is how it is understood, not by contemplation, not by our intellectual analysis. Sometimes we get caught in some kind of things. Someone is less intelligent, someone is more intelligent. But, okay, it's true, it's not that everybody is equally intelligent, but what happens? That the wisdom, the real divyaṁ is revealed in the heart. And it comes by contemplation on the Lord and things related to the Lord. And that's why Prabhupada here in the Purport, he says, in a verse we say that, Kṛṣṇa says in a verse that, but you cannot see me with your present eyes. I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. And then in the verses before, Kṛṣṇa says, everything you wish to see, you will see. When you get these divine eyes, anything you wish to see, you will see. Different manifestations, different demigods, wonderful things that no one has seen before, you will be able to see. And divine, wonderful, varied, multicolored forms you will see. He describes, yes, Kṛṣṇa. He said, you will see everything you want, you will see. Everything you will be seeing in the future, you will see now. Everything you would have seen 1,000 miles away, you will be just seeing here. So this is what I'm going to show you now. But you can't see it just like this. I give you divine eyes. So how many would like to, just for a fraction of a second, receive these divine eyes to be able to see that form? Anyone? You know? To receive divine eyes, divyaṁ, to see even a little bit, just for 1 second. Would like or not? Would like, yeah? Okay, so some would like, some no, not raising hand. Shy or just don't want? Okay, who is not interested? 2 are not interested, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, either interested or not interested. Need to think a little bit about it. Still thinking, contemplating. Okay, contemplation is very good. So, some would like, 3 people liked, 2 did not like, and the rest had no opinion. So, Prabhupada, what writes Prabhupada? A pure devotee does not like to see Kṛṣṇa in any form except his form with 2 hands. So they have 2 pure devotees here. They don't want to see anything else. They only want to see Kṛṣṇa. So my Respect to you. We have two pure devotees here. We are very blessed by that. And Srila Prabhupada dedicates this whole purport to glorify this 200 form of Kṛṣṇa. And Arjuna also was seeing him. But Kṛṣṇa was just in front with two hands standing. And now he says, I want to see these all things. Krishna says, okay, I'll give you divine eyes. So Arjuna was in which category? These three, these two, or the rest? No, Arjuna. Arjuna had a separate category. Arjuna, Prabhupada says here, that he was actually not interested in seeing it, but he wanted that Krishna manifests it to establish some fact. So Arjuna was in a preaching mood. He was in a preaching mood. So he did not do it for his personal interest. So Prabhupada also writes in a verse, in a purport, that he talks about this Kṛṣṇa with two hands, who is, and he has a relationship with his devotees, and the devotees are attracted to Kṛṣṇa not because of his opulences, but because of his loving features. Because the real relationship is love. This is what binds. This is real yoga. While coming here, I was thinking about love, because really what binds someone to someone else is attraction. And attraction is synonymous to love. Affection is synonymous to love. If you don't have affection, attraction doesn't happen, and then there is no love. The only way attracted to someone, there is some love to a certain degree. I watched one video. There were two teenagers, one boy, one girl, and they had some attraction, and we call it love in a mundane realm. So they at this point had so much love, so-called love, that they took a super glue and they glued together each other. And they were very, very happy, they're fully connected. And after some time, they are already sitting in a hospital, remove the super glue. Remove the super glue. No? We are laughing. So what's wrong here? So much attraction. When the wrong is that we have to have a super glue to glue together. But when we are attracted to Kṛṣṇa, when we love Kṛṣṇa, we don't need to have a super glue. There is no need of any external tool to link us together with Kṛṣṇa. Like even this book or a bag or a bead bag, you need a thread to make a shape and stitch together pieces. It is external. It means you need some help. It depends on something. But bhakti does not depend. And another, what happened with these two teenagers? After some time they want to unglue. If you glue, then glue and stay like this. Why you have to unglue? But then they go to hospital, and hospital people thinking what to do now, how to remove this super glue. And so they want to unglue. But once we are in love with Kṛṣṇa, once we have connection, we have revived this connection from Kṛṣṇa, we don't want to go to any person to tell us, okay, now unglue us. Only one instance I know when it happened that that somebody wants to be unglued. Anyone knows any instance? When Kṛṣṇa left to Mathura, and then gopis were so much suffering and so much crying, and then Uddhava came to pacify them. I said, don't worry, you can meditate. Kṛṣṇa is in your heart. You meditate, you think about him. He said, our problem is that we want to stop thinking about him, but we cannot. So, but that is also their expression of love. It's not that they actually wanted to stop thinking of Kṛṣṇa, but that separation was they experienced some bitterness that because pure love is described, it is like nectar and poison mixed. So that poison drop fell, and they said, I want to remove the drop. So, but this is just a lila. You cannot actually compare these two things. Yes, so when we are connected with Kṛṣṇa, when we are attracted to Kṛṣṇa, not because of his opulences, but because of his loving features, then that is how devotees, Prabhupada said, are correctly situated. When devotees are attracted to Krishna's loving features, they are correctly situated. And then he gives the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 12, 11 that I just read, no, about this cowherd boys who play with Kṛṣṇa. Some people see Kṛṣṇa as a Brahman. Some people see absolute truth as a Brahman. Some see the impersonalists. The devotees see him as a supreme personality of Godhead. And some mundane people just see another person born, another person left. Somebody passed by like this. Sometimes many people come to Vrindavan and they say, yes, Kṛṣṇa also lived here. We also living here. Yeah. So there's some historical personality performed some great deeds. Many books written about him. Like Napoleon was also great personality in history. So many books written about him, or some kind of king from previous centuries. Books written. So Kṛṣṇa also was here like this. Did something wonderful. Some power he had. So some books were written about him. So like that, this is here written, Mayashritanam. These type of people are called Mayashritanam, the one who are bewildered by Maya. But many times this is used, Mayashritanam, the Maya Ashrita, the one who has taken. How do you get bewildered by Maya? When you take shelter of Maya. Yeah. So Maya Ashrita. When you take shelter, Maya Ashritanam, when you take shelter of Maya, then you are called as a ordinary, materially bewildered person, and then you cannot understand the divine nature of the Lord. So many people see him like this. One thinks like that, one thinks like this, one thinks Brahman, one thinks Paramatma, one thinks the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the boys, the cowherd boys, they said, he is our friend and we love him. They were not thinking about more things. Okay, Brahman, no problem. Let him be Brahman. Let him be Paramatma. Let him be Bhagavan. But he is our friend and we love him. Like some president's best friend from childhood. Okay, now he became president. But what I'm supposed to do? We are friends. And we love each other since childhood, and we always love, yeah? So we may know that he is president, we may know that he's like this, but actually our important in our heart is that he's our friend. So in a commentary of this verse, Srila Prabhupada quotes Srila Rupa Goswami, he says that, Rupa Goswami says that somehow or other one must think of Kṛṣṇa somehow or other, yeah. And there is a I forgot which was the shloka number, but it is that Katamopi navena syat panchanam purusham prati tasmat kenapyupayena mana Kṛṣṇa niveshayet. That somehow or other someone has to think of Kṛṣṇa. Even Kamsa was thinking of Kṛṣṇa as an enemy. Someone can think of Kṛṣṇa in a lusty way. Someone can think of him in an angry way. Someone may think of him in different ways. But somehow or other, one should think of Kṛṣṇa. because there are some kind of such type of people who actually cannot think of Kṛṣṇa, and they are atheists. And examples give like King Venu. He could not think of Kṛṣṇa. So and these people are just stuck in this material consciousness. But those who can think of Kṛṣṇa, in whatever way can think of Kṛṣṇa, they are eligible for becoming free from this entanglement of the modes of material nature, even if it is inimically. Even it is inimically. Kṛṣṇa is so powerful and so merciful. But of course, as we know, it's best to think of Kṛṣṇa favorably. Anya bilasita. Favorably. We should think of Kṛṣṇa favorably. This is what a devotee do. And the more our favor goes to Kṛṣṇa, the more our love and affection is refined and purified. So in thinking of Kṛṣṇa, it is like also we can say a very broad term, like we can say even comes a thought of Kṛṣṇa in an inimical way. But then Srila Prabhupada narrows it down to a very specific way how to think of Kṛṣṇa. A very specific way. And why he narrows, it's like makes it one pointed determination, attention. And why it is just to help us to attain some specific purpose. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada, I will read one purport now. And it is very, very beautiful how Srila Prabhupada writes. This is 1865. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyase satyam te pratijane priyosime. Always think of me. Become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my dear friend. So Srila Prabhupada writes in a purport, because this verse directly says, always think of me. It is about thinking. So this will also read, thinking, but then thinking means so much varieties way someone can think. Yeah, like we just said, even inimically someone also can think. This verse, of course, is said, become devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. So then this adds, okay, but don't think just somehow. Think favorably. It's better even like this, yes? So Kṛṣṇa says, you think, and then it is explained, thinking can be in so many varieties of ways, but Kṛṣṇa says, but you think nicely about me. Think favorably about me. Yes? And thus you will come to me without fail, as Kṛṣṇa says. So Prabhupada speaks in the purport very, very nicely. Like we just said that these verses of Śrīmad Bhagavatam, of Bhagavad Gita, are so as transcendental as Kṛṣṇa himself, because it has come from Krishna's own sweet mouth. And there is inside or outside of Kṛṣṇa, left side or right side of Kṛṣṇa, upside or downside of Kṛṣṇa. There is no difference from that. All are same transcendental, and all are the same way transcendental. That's why this Bhagavad Gita, at any side wherever you look, it is again also the same way transcendental. And the same is also said about Śrīmad Bhagavatam, but then it is mentioned very nicely. But when the Śrīmad Bhagavatam is coming from the mouth of pure devotee, like Shukadeva Goswami, it is even more sweeter. Because Shukadeva Goswami is it's described like a parrot. The fruit which is poked by a parrot's beak is sweeter than other fruits, because parrot knows which fruit is nice. So to eat that fruit is the best. You get the sweetest fruit because parrot knew and he showed. Yeah, so that's why it said the Shukadeva Goswami gave Srimad Bhagavatam even in more nectarian way. So therefore Srila Prabhupada, when he in his purports, even though Bhagavad Gita is so sweet and so nice, but his Srila Prabhupada's purports, it is even more sweeter and more nectarian, because Srila Prabhupada is the same like Shukadeva Goswami is poking those the best fruits and showing us and chewing it for us, and we just need to open our mouths and swallow. Yes, so Prabhupada writes on this beautiful verse, Manamana Bhava Madhukta, just think of me, just become of my devotee. So Krishna is saying, what else is there to do? Just think of me. So Srila Prabhupada says, it's very, very beautiful. It's one of my favorite purports. The most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become pure devotee of Kṛṣṇa and always think of him and act for him. So, what is most confidential part of knowledge? What is most confidential part of knowledge? Okay. The most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become pure devotee of Kṛṣṇa and always think of him and act for him. What is the most confidential part of knowledge?
Become pure devotee and think about Krishna anytime and act like that.
And act for him and think of him and become devotee. Yes. So means become pure devotee, it means that you think of him favorably and act not like Kamsa. Also think of Krishna and act for him also with a sword. So like this. So that's why is here specifically mentioned that you become a pure devotee. So, and what does it mean that? And also another significance of thinking and acting is that Srila Prabhupada writes, one should not become an unofficial meditator. Yeah? Okay, I also think, meditators also think, but then you act for Kṛṣṇa. Do something for Kṛṣṇa. Life should be molded, life should be so molded that one will always have chance to think of Kṛṣṇa. So who molds our life? Who molds your life? Molds. Molding means shapes. Who shapes our life? Kṛṣṇa giving what? But who shapes our life? Ourselves we shape our life. Shape our life.
Krishna.
Scriptures, Krishna, Guru, and what we are doing. So then, who is shaping? Is Guru chanting or you are chanting? So if you are chanting, then who is shaping? And if you are not chanting, then who is not chanting? You are not chanting or Guru is not chanting. It is we are who are shaping. Yes, so that's why Prabhupada said we should, our life should be molded in such a way that that one will always have chance to think of Kṛṣṇa. So who will mold our life in such a way that we can think of Kṛṣṇa? Ourselves will do it. Yes, so we should always shape our life in such a way that we can always think of Kṛṣṇa. One should always act in such a way that all his daily activities are in connection with Kṛṣṇa. So one should do what? Act in which way? That our all activities throughout the day are in connection with Kṛṣṇa. How should we act? Yes, that our activities are connected with Kṛṣṇa. So it is we will act, not Kṛṣṇa will act, not scriptures will act, not Guru will act. we will act in such a way that our all activities are connected with Kṛṣṇa. One should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours, one cannot but think of Kṛṣṇa. So how many hours of the whole day we have to think of Kṛṣṇa? Who will have to think? We have to think. How should we think? We should arrange somehow or other, in whichever way, that we can think of Kṛṣṇa. For how long? For 24 hours. We have to do it, yes? And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is in such pure Kṛṣṇa consciousness will certainly return to the abode of Kṛṣṇa. So who will return to Kṛṣṇa? One who is in pure consciousness, who will think in 24 hours, not who joined ISKCON, not who put tilak, not who bought dhoti, not who bought sari, not who got new japamala and a beads in mridanga shape, and not who wear kanti. One who thinks of Kṛṣṇa 24 hours, that one. Doesn't mention here. Doesn't say, I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no. I am only saying that the essence of everything, even essence of your initiation, is to always think of Kṛṣṇa 24 hours. This is the most, okay. And what will happen when you go to abode of Kṛṣṇa? Finally I did all this thinking of 24 hours all this time. Now I have achieved my way of Goloka Vrindavan. I can finally forget about Kṛṣṇa. Is that no? What you will do? Where you will be engaged in association of Kṛṣṇa face to face. Yes? So you will continue your thinking and your serving. This most confidential part of knowledge. So this is the most confidential part of knowledge, yes? To think of Kṛṣṇa 24 hours and go back to the spiritual abode and see Kṛṣṇa face to face. Associate with him face to face. This is the most confidential part of knowledge and is spoken to Arjuna because he is a very dear friend to Kṛṣṇa. Everyone who follows the path of Arjuna can become a dear friend to Kṛṣṇa and obtain the same perfection as Arjuna. These words stress that one should concentrate his mind upon Kṛṣṇa. Upon Kṛṣṇa. Listen carefully. Details. More details. That very form with two hands carrying flute, the bluish boy with a beautiful face and peacock feathers in his hair. Does that Kṛṣṇa have to think 24 hours a day? You will make your arrangements how you will do it, but you do. There are descriptions of Kṛṣṇa found in Brahma Samhita and other literatures. Venum kvanantam aravinda dalaya taksham. One should fix his mind only on this original form of Godhead. Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Only on this original form of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa. And now the most shocking sentence. One should not even divert his attentions to other forms of the Lord. The Lord has multi forms as Vishnu, Narayana, Rama, Varaha, etc. But a devotee should concentrate his mind only on the form that was present before Arjuna. So from this purport, it even seems that Arjuna, in front of Arjuna was form with flute. Because he said first, one should concentrate his mind only on that form which had flute. And now he said on that form which was in front of Arjuna. Concentration on the mind, on the form of Kṛṣṇa constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge. And this is disclosed to Arjuna, because Arjuna is most dear friend to Kṛṣṇa. So thinking of Kṛṣṇa, this is the most confidential part. And today is a very special day, because that confidential part of knowledge was given to us. So from now on, we need to shape our life in such a way that we can think of Kṛṣṇa 24 hours. And there is a place where Srila Prabhupada says that but the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is thinking of Kṛṣṇa. So if we have to think of Kṛṣṇa 24 hours, means we have to chant 24 hours. And then there is also explained that if you have not taken initiation of bona fide guru, then a holy name will not act. So you see, it's not about initiation, it's not about what you do, it's about how you will think of Kṛṣṇa 24 hours. The details you arrange. Prabhupada said, mold your life. Who will mold? Who will shape our life? Ourselves. So instruction is to think of Kṛṣṇa 24 hours. You make the arrangements. Thank you. Śrīmad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.
Before any season, like without any season, can we get Kṛṣṇa? We are following everything like our spiritual master and everything, but we are not getting any season because of some we don't have that type of Shiksha Guru, so that they will promote us. They will think if you will not do according to me, then I will not give. I will not give you.
Okay, so we don't need to start here Shiksha Guru's fault, my fault, his fault. Everyone needs to get initiated, and this is not some Shiksha Guru's fault because he's like this, because I'm not following him, he is not promoting me, or like this. Initiation is not about this type of things. One question is, why you cannot follow Shiksha Guru? What is the problem? And a second, I don't ask, no need to answer. I'm just saying, you think yourself, why am I not following him? And then second thing is, it is all external. When Kṛṣṇa and Guru will arrange, then time will be. But the point is that you have to be eager and you have to do everything to attain, to be initiated. And not because it is some kind of higher status. It is actually make you surrender. So like that, you have to learn to surrender. And this is what will make you, Kṛṣṇa accept you and Guru accept you. Yes, Mataji, Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you so much for the class. So, how is that the holy name has not act if anybody is not initiation, if somebody didn't get initiation?
It's not that it is completely not act, because it is as Kṛṣṇa, non-different from Kṛṣṇa, so it always acts. But initiation it's a step of surrender. And that surrender is what Kṛṣṇa will, how Kṛṣṇa will notice you.
The holy name, the Mahamantra, is absolute, so it doesn't need anything to work.
Yeah, but it needs your heart. It needs your heart. Yeah, so your heart means you have to surrender. And accepting Guru, this is how you show that you have surrendered.
Yeah, but in the case, if one person, it's not that he doesn't want anything, it's that he's living, I don't know, someplace very far. And for any reason he got the Mahamantra, and he's chanting, he has completely faith of that. It's not working.
To some extent. It depends on attitude. Everything depends on attitude.
Because the Mahamantra is important and empowered.
It's not empowered. It is Kṛṣṇa. Yes. So, but it depends on attitude. Everything depends on attitude. Everything depends on attitude. And we also know there are always exceptions, like we see that to get a university degree, you have to study. But sometimes someone get honorary degree. So there is some, but it's not like a normal process. It is an exception. And sometimes devotees explain that such exception is Putana. That he came and she wanted to kill him. She even chanting Hare Krishna mantra. She just came to kill him. But he gave her a loving place next to his mother in a spiritual world. So this is an exception. It's not that everyone should start to follow the footsteps of Putana. Different exceptions can be. Krishna is independent, he can do whatever he wants. But we have a general way of following. And that's how it is. But Krishna is not bound by any rule, and Krishna is not bound by any system. Only Krishna is bound by love. Yes, but it's not that we should become neglectful, complacent, and think of ourselves as someone who doesn't need that rules and system. No, I'm not saying about you. I'm general that things can happen out of the frame, but for us we have to follow the frame, and not because of anything. It's just what Acharyas has given to us. And why did they give it to us? Because they knew what is needed to be done.
But I am not talking about the form, because we know the form. We know that we have to follow the authority. We know that we have a param, and we have to respect this param, the scriptures. But I am talking about the Mahamantra.
Yes.
How much absolute is that,
Mahamantra is not different from Krishna. It's Krishna. As absolute is Krishna, this much absolute is Mahamantra. But only obstacle can be us. Us is the only obstacle. Not that Mahamantra is limited, but we are stubborn. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. It's 10 past.